Kevin, considering how competitive you guys were against USC, were you surprised that this game transpired the way that it did?
Of course, but um, we the way things started off, it kind of snowballed from there. But there's no doubt that this is a good football team we played tonight. But we've what you said, Mike, was coming off of last week. Um, no surprise is the word. It's disappointing. We got to coach better. We got to handle situations on the road. All those things, and that's where we are. And we've got to. Obviously, we had some issues up front with Washington on both sides. They handle the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively, and that really they limited us offensively with their defensive line, the rush, which took us out of some things, and they're one of the better run defenses in this league. So they dominated the football game up front on both sides, which led to the results.
How would you summarize your message to the team after the game?
It was we have to stick together as a team. Because as you said, there's from last week to this week, it's the same result, but a different football game. And so, we have to go back to work as coaches and do a better job and keep looking at where we are with personnel and then, come back to work on Monday for another opponent.
Hey, Coach. Last week against Oregon State, Washington ran the ball the majority of the time. Tonight, to open the game, they come out throwing. Did that catch you guys off guard?
Well, obviously it was I think if you look at, particularly in the first half, right? We had some situations after they went for it on fourth and short, and we still had them in third down situations. And I don't have the stats here in front of me, but I think just quick peek, it was they were over 50% on third down conversions, and I don't know what we were. We were like 3 of maybe 12, and that's what happens with a team like this when they're able to stay on the field and convert third downs, and we were not, and that was really the difference early in the football game, and as the game went on, and they were able to do that with 4-man rush. They brought blitzes a little bit later, but the third down conversions kept them on the field and chewed up the clock, and we were not able to convert for third downs really in the first half, really not until at the end of the game.
So, Coach, what was going wrong defensively in that first half for you guys? It seemed like you were saying third down conversions, but there seemed to be a lot of miscommunication in the secondary.
Well, we had some new guys out there too, and I think, like you said, they got in those situations and got into some empty sets and some bunch sets and created some issues for us. Let's see, I got to go back and look at it. But obviously, we weren't able to get to the quarterback and gave him some time to find those spaces too. And, we got limited a little bit later we're down some DBs and, playing man-to-man. They got behind us, and in the zone, zone coverages, in third down, they were working the middle of the field and getting open there. So, we got to go back and take a look at it and what we're doing. But certainly, where we were and some other guys on the field that, because being down a couple DBs, created some issues for us in the secondary.
Grant was shown on TV, and he looked very frustrated, probably the most frustrated I've seen him in a game at Arizona. From your perspective, what was his emotions like throughout the game, and how he handled himself?
Well, I think everybody was frustrated in the first half, really for three quarters, offensively, because we hadn't. I thought we protected our protection would be better, and they teed off and got to him even when he got the ball off and hit him and flushed him, and some things that he really hadn't really happened to him. So and then to be able to take the pressure off and run it, obviously we weren't able to do that either. So he was frustrated, but he kept plugging, and hopefully that's something that in the growth process that he's going to learn from.
Yeah, Coach, along the lines with the growth part of Grant, he was saying that early on in the game, especially in the first half, his eyes when he was in the pocket would drop down and look at the defensive line and the oncoming rush. Is there a coaching? Is that more on coaching of teaching a kid to keep his eyes downfield, or is that more on Grant to just
no?
develop more?
That's the situation, and that the pocket was getting pushed back into him. When we were in 5-man protection, we started helping with the back a little bit later, which helped the protection. But with where he was and trying to push up in the pocket sometimes, and they were pushing it right back into his lap. So that's an issue too, right? That's the issue we had tonight with our pass pro, and then being able to take some pressure off by being able to run the ball. We didn't do that either. And Washington, as I said before, they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and when that happens, the result's never good.
You swapped out some offensive linemen later in the game. Is that an area where you might look to change personnel heading into next week?
No, I think we got to, as I said, I got to look at it, but obviously we had some issues up there with really, particularly in pass pro and being able to run it. And at that point, when you're having those types of issues with sacks and hitting the quarterback and not being able to run the ball effectively as we've done, it was time to give another guy a chance. And that's something we'll look at. But obviously, from one week to another, it was very, very different tonight. And we gave some of those guys a chance. Some of the young guys on both sides of the ball a chance to go in there. And obviously, it was against their second. So you have to take that with a grain of salt too. So but we did swap out some guys in this game and gave them an opportunity to play, and we'll take a look at it.
Sure. Both sides of the ball, you functioned a lot better in the fourth quarter. At that point, of course, the game is pretty much decided. But what do you take out of something like that, and is it something you can use as momentum heading into next week?
Well, yes and no. Individually, for some of those young guys that came in there and played, there's some confidence that they can get out of it. From some of the as you said, some of the linemen that were in there, obviously, and some of the young D linemen that got in and really for the first time, that they can get some confidence out of it. But obviously, there's a reason why the backups are in there, and so the most important thing is to come back to work on Monday with those guys that were playing early in the game and get their confidence to the level it was a week ago. And because the young guys who went in there, you know, that's I think they gained a little bit just because of playing in their situation in their time, and having some individual success. But it's all about the team, right? And you know, that's where our work has to get done this week.